So let's begin with the leading story from Wednesday's Guardian, Leo.
Yeah, it's about this Alzheimer's drugs. They've had clinical trials of a drug called lecanemab, which I think...
Stops you turning into a werewolf.
It sounds like they've written it down backwards.
Yeah.
And I think if you can say it, then that is proof that you don't have Alzheimer's. So I might have Alzheimer's, but they've done clinical trials. This slows the decline in early stages of Alzheimer's.
Yep.
And that's incredibly positive and will make them loads of money because people who've got Alzheimer's are older who tend to, they've accumulated wealth, so now they can get some of that off. It's like what the Tory tax plan should be.
So cynical.
Well, I think
really?
they will get it on. They will get it in this country on prescription.
Oh, so I'm going to be paying for that as well. Oh, I'm just disgusted.
But on the other hand, your parents won't fail to recognise your face and cause existential despair every time you visit.
No, honestly, it would be fine if they did, and it's probably a bit late for them anyway. The other story on this is a bit beefier. It's been relegated to a small section because it's the Guardian. They don't want anybody to know about this. But the census results are trickling out. They were done in 2021, and they show that England and Wales are now minority Christian countries. So the amount of people calling themselves Christians has fallen from 59.3% to 46.2%, so less than half now. And the other big whammy is that white British people are now a minority in lots of parts of the country. So in London and Birmingham, white British people are now a minority, which, I mean, is good news in some ways because we're going to be able to get in some adverts now. But it really is startling. Apparently 37% of people in London are white British.
White British,
which, considering it's the capital
I think it was a minority even at the last census, 2011. We were in, I'd left by then. Perhaps I'd tilted the balance. Come down to Brighton. But yes, it's quite stark, and I think Manchester as well now, or certainly there is a third city, which is...
Leicester and Birmingham.
Yeah. So you've got the Independent, Diane, and that has actually led, the Eye, I should say, which has led with the census story, but they're focusing on the Christianity aspect of it.
Yeah, they are, because I guess what is interesting is that Christianity has been the dominant religion in the UK since the year 597. I mean, before that, we were doing quite well with Stonehenge, and we kind of had some lovely Viking gods and a whole plethora of paganism. But then being Christian has become, they say, being a definition of being English. But I think that people now, because obviously there's been a lot of scandal in the church, and obviously science has come along a long way, I think that you can still be a sort of a divine person, you can still be a good person, but you don't have to necessarily equate yourself with Christianity per se. So do I think that this is a bad thing? Not necessarily. What do you think, Leo?
I'll tell you what I think right now. No, because Christianity, all right, I'm not a Christian, but I think Christian countries, the Christian culture has given rise to, just Western liberal democracy and the sort of themes of equality and tolerance, which I don't really agree with. But, those are positive attributes for a culture.
Universality of the value of human life.
Exactly.
Wasn't it? I know Chesterton, who is a very interesting thinker on these things, says that if you do away with Christianity, you better have some other plausible explanation for why every human life is equally valuable, because science won't provide you with one.
Well, by 2050, Islam is going to be the biggest religion in the UK. So, and we can see, Islamic countries tend not to have the same sort of universal themes of equality, every human life being equal and sacred, and tolerance of people's lifestyles.
Do you think it will be a dominant religion, though? Is that not also becoming denatured by materialism? I mean, essentially, materialism, shopping is the new religion, right?
Well,
it's not Islam; it is utter materialism. It's nihilism.
That's not working in Saudi Arabia. Show me in Saudi Arabia or Iran where materialism has removed the power of
You have to show a previously Christian country into which significant Islamic immigration has actually tilted it towards an Islamic culture.
Why
find one of those.
Why are we running that experiment anyway? I mean, why would you mess with Western liberal democracy?
I agree with you, but I agree that it's a dangerous experiment. But I think the presumption is that shopping, materialism, consumerism, feminism, of the availability of an education to men and women on an equal footing, which is, not popular in Islamic countries, will
Or in
gradually
parts of the
denature
UK.
the traditionalism, the patriarchy, the stay at home, get pregnant.
And we just go like this. Let's, you know what I mean? Sorry, I didn't mean to spit in you there.
That's all right, lovely.
But in 50
well,
years' time,
we're
I'll be
talking
allowed
about Sharia law.
Yeah.
So the thing that does bother me slightly is the extremists, because I don't know if you remember this, but in 2013 and 2014, there was a group called the Sharia Project, I think they were, and they were vigilantes who were literally patrolling sections of East London, trying to enforce Islamic law on people in East London. And let me just underline right now, the Muslim East London community said we do not appreciate this, and that is the only thing that would concern me.
OK.